I think the bicycle can be a real metaphor for life. You know, one step forward, one pedal stroke forward. You know, it takes you places, it gets you out of your head. It just, you know, takes you down this road of life. And sometimes there's lots of bumps along the way. Sometimes there's roots and rocks and, you know, all those obstacles. But if you just keep pushing, you'll get through it.
And that's all runners. Have a safe ride, guys.
When I was younger, I had some health issues with my hips, and then I had a disease called Legg Perthes Disease. And so, like from kind of like birth to 5 years old, I was in cast splints, crutches, things like that. And so I was left with kind of a bum hip, and so I kind of always limped. But I didn't really let that stop me. And my sister also had the same thing, and she suffered very badly, so she really limped a lot, and she was also brilliant. So I think that as we got older, she excelled in school and things like that, and I could never compare to her that way, so I kind of went the sports route. So I found that I could do things that way. I really got into softball as a child, and that was pretty much my first sport, and then soccer, and yeah, I played softball all the way up to my teenage years. So I did triathlon for a few years, and then I realized it was actually, even the walk run was getting too hard on me, so I just kind of more focused on the cycling aspect, and that's where when I started doing more mountain biking and then eventually gravel riding. You know, being outside, getting out in nature, and just kind of pushing my body physically, and just felt really, really good, and it was really fun. And then a friend of mine, she asked if I wanted to go in this bike race called the Kettle Medal. It was on the Kettle Valley Trail, and it was from Penticton to Kelowna. So I rode it on my mountain bike, and it was like 100 kilometers, and it was so hard. You know, it was so hard. And I saw other people who were kind of on different kind of bikes, but we were on our mountain bikes. And ever since then, I just really wanted to do that kind of riding, and then I bought a proper gravel bike. And I don't know, I've just been going on group rides, and I led a few group rides just because I just love it so much now. And I just kind of want to show other people that, you know, just because you have some limitations, maybe some health issues or mental health issues, that have some anxiety, that you can still get out there on your bike and get out there in the forest especially. You know, the bike can take you places where your legs can't sometimes. You know, you can walk for hours and hours on a hike, but if you can ride your bike on the old, you know, logging roads or Forest Service roads, you can get way out there. When you're riding, you have to focus what's in front of you. You know, you have to think about the roots and the rocks, and it kind of, you know, you forget about all the other things that you're going through in life, and, you know, just for like an hour and a half or 2 hours, you're just completely focusing on the present moment. So I think with my YouTube channel, what I'm really trying to do is just try to get people to get out there, get on their bikes. You know, whether you ride 2 kilometers or 5 kilometers or 10 or 100 kilometers, you know, it doesn't matter how far you can go. What matters is that you get out there and try, and that you get out there and see some sights, and, you know, get off the couch and, you know, get some exercise and fresh air.